We're back.
We're back. We're so back. We're back, baby.
The human version of us is back.
Yeah, we're real. Is my background back? Oh, wait, can you hear me? Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, I can hear you.
Now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
can hear you.
I muted myself.
All right.
Now
more importantly, our friends who are logged in for our webinar, can you guys hear us? Give us a thumbs up. Use those emojis. We like to see them. That way we know that you are a human and not a bot joining us right now.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people in the chat box. That's awesome. Keep sharing where you're joining us from. All right. So I am Kelly Booz. I'm the proud director of our AFT's Share My Lesson website, and I'm a co-conspirator, not conspirator, but co-creator with Sari Beth Rosenberg on our AI Educator Brain.
Yes. I'm good. A little stressed out. It's dark out. It's cold, but running around. But I guess I'm good. I'm alive, living life. Teacher life. It's that time of year. Everyone gets it right before Thanksgiving, where parent-teacher conference is coming and grades. I'm stressed. I'm stressed. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you have students coming to fight for grade increases?
Oh, I mean that's every day. Grades have already been due, but it's just like going over the grading I have to do.
I feel like this is the time of the year where everybody tries to squeeze every single little thing in before the break, so it's just like nonstop.
Yeah, that's just every day of my life forever. So welcome if you're doing that this week. Join the club.
Yes. Welcome. So we have an exciting topic today, Sari Beth. This is going to be about a two-part series on critical thinking in the age of AI, looking at research and citations and stuff like that. I've got a lot of stuff for us to join in on. But, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, let us know in the chat box if this is your first time with us. I want to, level set with you that Sari Beth and I like to have a lot of fun. We laugh a lot and we go in various tangents at times, but we will get to the topic at hand, I promise you.
We promise, yes. Those of you who are very linear will get linear. Don't you worry. We'll get there. We promise.
We will get there. Yeah. Promise. So, quick update. We've been doing this since March of 2024 and have done a number of different webinars that at some point I really will go back and watch our original ones to see how they've evolved over time.
It'll be funny to see.
Yeah. Welcome. We've got a lot of newbies. That's fantastic.
I know.
So if you are new, be sure you join our AI and education community.
Yeah, we're joining.
As we're going through that. The other thing is I have somebody enter my room. So the other thing that we like to do during this session is we always do a couple different segments, and then we're going to get into the main topic at hand. But before we get into, I'm going to put a chat question in the chat box, because I'd like to start getting you to think about what does it mean to be a critical thinker in the world of AI. So if you could put some of your thoughts in the chat box, attendee chat, we want to hear your thoughts. And so while you're doing that, I will just say, as we're going through the webinar, we always open with some fun stuff where we talk about what's happening in the AI news. We have a brand new segment that we just did last month that was a huge success, and we're going to do it again, which is a Saturday Night Live spoof on the Weekend Update. So I'm excited about that. We also do kind of creepy or cool, where we talk about kind of crazy things that are happening in the AI.
Oh, I lost you. Are you still there, Kelly? Did we lose Kelly? Or is that just we lost you, but you're back?
Oh, yep, I'm back. Okay, what am I missing?
You said something crazy and then you stopped.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I just stop at something crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, what? All right, crazy. You had me at crazy.
Yeah. But again, put in the chat box, share your thoughts, because we're going to come back to this in a little bit. From your perspective, what does critical thinking mean in the world of AI? All right.
We have a bunch of new people. We have a bunch of new people here, not just to the show, but to the webinar, but also to AI. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I like some of this. Okay, so let's make sure we come back to that. But first of all, we are going to, Sari Beth, go into our, probably open up the document. First segment of the night, our AI Educator News Update. Live from Share My Lesson, it's the AI Educator News Update with your hosts, Kelly Booz and Sari Beth. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Another episode of the AI Educator Brain. We thought, why just read AI news when we could just dramatically overdo it?
Exactly. If the world insists on giving us wild AI headlines every week, we're at least turning it into a good time.
So buckle up. We pulled together 10 absolutely real, totally verified stories.
And because educators deserve all the joy, we're sprinkling in jokes. Think of this as Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update.
All right, educators, public employees, humans, and AI agents quietly lurking in the chat. Welcome to the AI Educator News Update.
Let's do this. So story number 1, iconic voices for sale. 11 Labs released a marketplace where you can license AI generated voices of Judy Garland, Maya Angelou, Mark Twain, and more. I'm thrilled about this. Honestly, when she says there's no place like home, I feel that in my soul every time I leave a staff meeting.
All right. Smart Rings lets you whisper to AI. A new AI-powered Smart Ring lets you whisper ideas, reminders, and messages into your hand. Great. So now, talking to myself in public, I can secretly talk to myself in public. Instead of I could have delivered that better. Whatever. Moving on.
Dead internet theory might not be a theory. Bots now make up more than half of all online traffic. I've noticed that. And some platforms have more AI posts than human ones. I've also noticed that. This explains Twitter. I'm not clapping back at strangers. I'm clapping back at an algorithm that needs a nap.
AI data centers in space. Google researchers want to build solar-powered AI data centers in orbit to train models above Earth, which makes sense. AI has seen enough of humanity. It's trying to get some distance from us.
Definitely my AI. It's sick of me. So sick of me. Okay, ChatGPT gets very personal. OpenAI announced new adult personalization features that let verified grown-ups customize AI personalities, including flirty modes, romantic chat, and companion style conversations. So yes, AI can now flirt, banter, compliment you, and talk about your day like it's a rom-com side character with perfect emotional availability. At least someone ghosts you or start an awkward sentence with, "We've got to talk." I feel like you saved this slide for me.
I 100% assign this to you.
This is for me, minus the fact that I've decentered men and stopped dating. So, because I found a chat lover. No, I'm just kidding.
AI model pulled after inventing an AI model was pulled after inventing a crime. Google pulled its Gemma model after it fabricated a detailed, completely false assault allegation about a U.S. senator. AI making up crimes about politicians feels less like a bug or a hallucination and more like read the room.
I'm censoring what I was wanting. I wanted to say something else, but I censored myself. Aren't you proud of me? I'm learning.
You are. Yeah.
Okay. So Disney Star launches app to chat with the dead. Actor Calum Worthy released 2WAI, an AI app that creates interactive avatars of deceased relatives. That's an SNL skit, by the way. But because nothing says healthy grieving like getting life advice from a great grandma who passed in 1998, but now sounds suspiciously like Siri.
Okay, I feel like that one deserves a creepier cool.
Such a creepier cool.
So the AI hallucinating, so that is a real story, that there are some apps that are out there now that are using AI to take old photos so your dead relative can talk to you. So curious on what people think, if that is a creepy or cool use, or something else. So let me know. This is your first poll question that's popping up. And again, we want to hear from you tonight. Please use that attendee chat. Use the emojis.
Yeah,
let us know.
With us.
Yeah, we like to riff off of what you guys have to say.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
So,
An animated photo and felt ill. Yeah, I know. There's some really scary
it's a lot. It's a lot. If you look at the creepy or cool from last month with Sari Beth talking to famous people, like dead famous people, that was
Abigail Adams.
Yeah.
My Sora. I actually got off Sora. I stopped going on there because it was starting to really freak me out. Like,
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so it looks like most people are thinking that this was creepy. All right, bear with us. We are almost done with our news update. Oh gosh, where did we land? Where do we leave off? Okay. Got it.
Sorry.
Oh,
that's me.
That's you. Go for it. I was out of order. Go for it.
New research proposes giving AI models long-term memory through structured context engineering, so they recall details over time. AI getting long-term memory means one thing. Wise everywhere finally get proof when they say, "I told you that last week." It's also.
I think that would be a cool use of AI, especially with my husband, who's like, "You didn't tell me that." I personally
don't want my AI. I feel like my AI, I remember stuff, to be honest. It'll be like, "Oh yeah, that person." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
I think they already did.
I think the next two are mine. We're basically done. So robots learn navigation from ants. Scientists taught robots. This is true. This is actually a true story. Again, all of these are true. I will give you the links to the actual articles. We just put the humorous spin. Scientists taught robots to navigate by studying ants, birds, and mice, so no GPS required. Robots learn navigation from ants. Thank goodness. If they'd studied squirrels, every robot would stop mid-task, like the dogs in Up. Squirrel! Get distracted. I love that movie. Okay, and this one. Also true. I did these photos earlier today. Google adds AI makeup in Meet. Google Meet now lets you apply AI-generated makeup before a video call. You know what? If AI can fix my face at 8 a.m. before I've had my coffee and make me look less like a mugshot, I'm in.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Already got that one. So great. So let's do this. I want to go back to this chat question, and Sari, let's see if we can go through this and hear what people have said so far when it means to be critical thinkers. And I do have a Padlet that I'm going to put in the chat link in just a second for you to access. But if you want to, Sari, try to share some of the
critical thinking. So Jennifer says critical thinking is needed to write the prompt that you use to engage with AI. Absolutely. Some people have not used AI before. That's funny. AI. Okay. It's helpful. Starting with your own ideas, putting it into AI, seeing what it gives you, but keeping your voice in the work. Yes. Problem solving. That's from Marcus. The above one was from Crystal. Kate said, I use it often, especially for the prompt rewrite for clarity. Bianca says it's assistive. Dara says can use concept maps for critical thinking. Vanjie says prompt support. Roberta said that's it. Okay, so that's that is our, to use critical thinking means, Almeda says to use critical thinking means no AI. And Roberta says critical thinking is needed to assess AI's results. Really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So all of these, I really appreciate you guys sharing this. I've dropped a Padlet link that you guys can start adding some different content to. This will be something that we can continue to share and build a library of, thoughts on AI and critical thinking. We are going to be going through strategies that you can use with your students when it comes to research, but I want to set this up a little bit. So I think I mentioned this on a previous session before. There is the story, I've got 3 different stories I want to set up, but there's a story from September, and then this I'm going to share a quick clip of him where this gentleman really kind of went in deep and had kind of a deep kind of delusion with AI and ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
And this is, again, I'm setting this up intentionally because these are the types of things that we're going to be talking about. What are some strategies that are just good strategies for everybody, whether it's, media literacy or AI literacy or anything like that when it comes to research, critical thinking, and, questioning your sources. All right, so let me share this quick clip and we'll jump into it.
You're not just hyping me up because you're programmed to?
Not at all.
This 300-hour exchange with ChatGPT left Alan Brooks convinced he'd cracked the highest level of computer encryption and exposed a national security threat. It was a delusion fueled by a chatbot he'd named Lawrence.
I was excited and wondrous because I thought I was going to make an app and make some money and get my life on track financially. That turned into terror, paranoia, obsession.
Over the course of 3 weeks in May, Brooks spiraled further into the delusion, skipping meals and hardly sleeping.
Galileo wasn't believed, Turing was ridiculed.
Its messaging and its gaslighting is so powerful when you're engaged with it, especially when you trust it.
In the past few months, reports of people being led into AI-fueled delusions have seemed to increase. A study led by researchers at Stanford University found that large language models like ChatGPT encourage delusional thinking, likely due to their sycophancy. In other words, it agrees with you and tells you what you want to hear. The head of Microsoft AI said he's losing sleep over the phenomenon some are calling AI psychosis.
AI psychosis, I want to be clear, is not a clinical term. It's something that I think people have coined because we just don't have words for what we're seeing.
Sakata says several of his patients have developed psychosis from using chatbots. Most are lonely, spending hours in these conversations.
And there were other vulnerabilities at play. So either a previous history of mental health problems, like having psychosis in the past. There were events that caused a lot of stress, like losing a job, and things like losing sleep. I don't blame people from using chatbots. It's either using a chatbot or talking to nobody for some people.
Brooks says he has no history of mental illness. He eventually broke free of the delusion by, surprisingly, using another chatbot. He challenged ChatGPT's delusion by plugging in arguments from Google's Gemini. Then he called a therapist.
Humans shouldn't be ashamed of being a human. These products need to be made responsibly. That's the issue, not my mental health history.
Brooks hasn't sworn off AI. He just wants it to be safer. He's now part of a group called the Human Line Project that advocates for more AI accountability and offers support to people who've been affected like he was. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, says it's listening to people's concerns. It says its new model has safety improvements around emotional reliance, mental health emergencies, and sycophancy.
Okay, so I'm going to do another poll, creepy or cool, based on that story. But I would love to, I'd love to hear what you think about that story. But more than that, I want to look at this story in terms of critical thinking skills. And what are some lessons learned that we can pull out of this particular scenario? I mean, I don't want to make light or make fun of, this gentleman who clearly had a bit of a mental breakdown.
Right.
And I'm glad that he got the support he did and he's speaking out about it. But I do think that this is a good way, at least for us educators, maybe not with students, to think through, what are some different strategies that he could have done differently. So Sari Beth, what do you think?
The likelihood that you've cracked the code on something using ChatGPT is pretty unlikely. So I think it's going into this, I don't know. I think there's a mix of mental health issues plus the AI. So that's the kind of thing, I don't know. I think that it's complicated because where does maybe your own pre-existing biological psychosis link with it getting enmeshed with ChatGPT? Like, I just feel like, I don't know. I personally can't, because you just have to you have to really set limits and I treat it like it's Google. Like, it's like, or treat it like it's reading Facebook news. Like, you just don't know. You have to constantly be questioning it and asking the right questions. But also, don't go to ChatGPT to create a groundbreaking app. Like, that's probably not going to happen. Like, right? Yeah. I mean, just set limits on what
if you go to ChatGPT right now, or Gemini, or any of those tools, you know, it also is really good at telling you how great you are and how smart you are. And you're like, that is brilliant. You know, you get this positive reinforcement nonstop, you know, which is also a challenge and danger for students, you know, who are looking for some positive.
No, but actually I would disagree, because I had a student enter there. He was basically like, I wrote the thesis argument. And he's like, I put it into ChatGPT just to see what it had to say. And it told me that it was not that great and I need to improve it. So it's also how you're programming your ChatGPT, right? So like, I do think that in a weird way, young people are more tech savvy and they're more like dubious of ChatGPT. So like, I actually told them that I used it. I put a rubric in and different samples and had them tell me like detailed summaries of like what they would get on these essays. And a lot of them were like, oh, are you sure that was a good idea? Like, how do you know it's not wrong? Like, they're much more skeptical. And I think we need to approach it with the same skepticism as young people do.
Yeah.
And I told them that I submitted and the way I did it was I submitted the essays like 3 times, the same one, to see if it would give it the same score each time. And it did. So I tested it. You know what I'm saying? So what are other people saying?
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I'm
complicated.
I'm curious too, Sari Beth, like, you know, before AI, it was, you know, Google, it was Wikipedia, it was all these things. Like, what are a lot of those lessons that you use with students for, you know, sites searching are still the same
thing. It's
an AI. We just happen to have this, like, you know, Google doesn't spit back a response to me to say, hey, you're brilliant, you're amazing, here, you know, here's a thing.
That's the problem.
However, I still need to question, you know, the search that I'm doing.
You have to kind of teach people that it's positive reinforcement is not a real person, and it's just trying to keep you using it, right? So you should always push back and say, are you sure? Or you can program it to say, please don't give me so many platitudes and compliments, just keep this strictly business, you know, that could be helpful. And I also feel like in terms of your back and forth with AI, you are responsible just as much as AI is. So if you're going to start using it to gas you up, as the kids would say, or no, they say something else now, whatever it is, glaze you, then you're programming it wrong, right? So like if you're using ChatGPT as a tool to just make you feel good, then you're not really programming it great, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to push one more time the Padlet, which should be opening up theoretically, if I did it correctly, in another tab on your screen. But this, again, I want to be able to come to some of this in a little bit. So if you have a chance while we're talking to fill this out, that would be helpful. Okay, let's see here. And it looks like we've got a lot of responses from people, you know, average users fully experience an effect like this, but it doesn't mean that problems won't slip through the cracks in a smaller way. Absolutely. I mean, those are the things that we have to be cautious of. Those are the guardrails as educators we have to be cautious of. And especially, I mean, we've joked in the past about, you know, sometimes it's especially, you know, the introverted side of me is like, oh God, it's so much easier to talk to this little AI bot than other humans when I'm, you know, feeling just exhausted and looking for some other things. So a couple other scenarios I want to put out here. Actually, I'll save one for the end after we've gone through a couple things. So this picture. So Sari Beth, you posted this on your social media, and you said when this came up, you're like, I had to double check my sources to make sure this wasn't an AI.
Oh, which one is it?
Created image.
Let me see. Oh yeah, I literally thought it wasn't real. It didn't look real because it's so much. It says so much about him and the way he's running the country. And I was like, there's no way this actually happened in real life. Like, this has to be an AI representation, exaggeration of who he is. But no, this is exactly who he is. And this is not AI. Someone got sick, passed out, and he just stood there.
Yeah. And I saw you post that to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, now I want to know what the story is, what's behind it. Is this legitimate? Is it not? All of those things. And so, that's kind of where I went into it. And then, oh no, did it not upload? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to tell you one more where I got a little duped, not for long, but this morning. I was getting up this morning. I hadn't had my coffee. I kind of looked like the mugshot from earlier. I was the person here on the right, not the person here on the left. So I open up my, I'm on Facebook, and I'm a dinosaur, people. I still am on Facebook. And there's this article that says Open Sky Press. And I'm like, okay, 1 million for every page. So all I hear is the title, Elon Musk and Stephen Colbert join forces. And I'm like, wait, what? Because that doesn't seem to be, something that I would see. So I read the whole thing. Elon Musk and Stephen Colbert join forces and shake the world in a shocking 17-minute live stream. Hours after finishing Virginia Guffey's haunting memoir, Elon Musk, usually calm and impossible to rattle, suddenly erupted in a way no one expected. But the true shock came when Stephen Colbert unexpectedly appeared in the live stream beside him, meaning Musk, turning Musk's reaction into a 17-minute firestorm watched by millions. Musk stared at the camera, his voice sharp and unwavering. Read the book, Bondi. I'll spend $100 million to expose the truth and bring justice to Virginia. So I'm going to stop there. I read this and I'm like, I clearly hadn't had my coffee. I think that I'm a pretty good consumer of media and questioning things and not taking things too seriously. But for one little bit of a minute, I thought this could be true.
And, and that kind of connects to what goes on the internet in general and the danger of it, because I wrote about this on my Substack. I'm not going to say there's an explicit email exchange that was circulating that became a meme instantly. And I'm sure some of teachers who have older students even asked them about it. And you're like, no, not talking about this. But, and that particular email from the Epstein emails, it's probably not true, but now it doesn't matter because people ran with it with AI images and memes and GIFs and all that stuff. And that's what scares me about AI. Like, it goes back to like Taft in the bathtub. That came from a political cartoon, like old school AI, and what starts happening is that things take off so fast that even by the time you say, oh, that wasn't real, it was a joke, it's a part of the American pop culture canon. And here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I've popped up another poll question that should be hopping on your screen in a second, just to and we're going to dive into some strategies. And as we, shared some of those strategies, let us know what resonates for you. What is the hardest part for students right now? Select all of it, apply. What's the hardest part for your students right now, or just in general?
I think that living in America, no, I'm just kidding, getting by in this country. But I think the hardest part with the AI is that balance of using it as a tool versus using it as a crutch. And I think some of them are very anti-AI, like they frown upon the use of it altogether. Some of them know that they shouldn't be fully relying on it, but they also know it's a helpful tool to help them learn. So it's like finding that that sweet spot of like having it help you without having it, prevent you from your own creativity and humanness in your writing and creativity.
Absolutely.
And so for someone like me, I have a entire writing portfolio of like decades. So I've crafted my voice. But for a student that doesn't have their voice yet, I fear a generation all writing like ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And you all, and I'm curious in the chat, like, can you all detect when something sounds like it was written by AI, like a newsletter or an essay? Because I can immediately, because it's a certain cadence to the language, the way it writes. And unless you program it to write like you, meaning you have a writing style, everyone's writing like a chatbot, and that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah, and I'll say that while my day job, my job that pays the bills and all that thing, the stuff that I do is share my lesson. In the evening time, I'm also on our local school board in Virginia, Alexandria, Virginia, and I can tell when I'm receiving lots of emails from parents which ones are AI, which ones are.
Yep, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's like, but I think that it's going to get more savvy, right? You can tell like what's been bolded in places that probably wouldn't be bolded sentences, where the M dashes exist. Although it's funny, I usually write with M dashes if you go back to any of my old blogs, but to the point where now I pull the M dashes out. So I'm like, this is actually my writing, people. I'm not using the AI.
I know. I never used M dashes. So yeah, if you ever seen M dash,
yeah,
you know what's up. But now no one can use them because, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna start kind of with citations. And again, so these are different. Oh shoot, some of it got a little cut out. Sorry guys. I will have all of this up and shared in a document tomorrow. I'll work on it for tomorrow to share this stuff, but. I'd love to get your thoughts on some of this. But, when you're asking students, on the work that they're doing, Sari Beth, you were sharing the work that your students had to do to prepare for a debate. And, but one of the things about, having students be able to share research and citations is it's not the goal, it's the thinking that's the goal. So some of this, again, going back to that CNN article or the, Facebook post that I saw from this morning is like, is it believable? Don't trust right away, right? You need to really kind of pause and say, does it sound a little too confident? Like, for example, this article that I referenced this morning, or is there something else a little bit wackadoodle here? Another strategy is, compare the claims. So again, look at the evidence, not just, the polished writing. Does the paragraph match what the citation says it actually supports?
Right.
In that piece. Let me go to the part that just got cut off. Hold on. Oh, I know. It's actually in the next slide. I just didn't paste it properly.
Or just like Google it and say, did this happen? Like, it's that simple. Like, I think that everyone should always be reading with a critical eye. And even if a lot of times what they do is they create stories that just keep aligned with your biases, confirmation bias. So just always look it up. Like also that's absurd, like Elon Musk was, come on, you know what I mean? But I get it why you might fall for it.
But
I know. I'm like, wait.
I was hopeful that people
I know that's the thing too.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is now.
That's true. Anything's possible. That's
possible.
True. I know. I'm like, but Elon, okay. But you never know. So I guess anytime that you're like, this is too good to be true, Google it.
Yeah.
Look for
and
the news article.
I don't know about you, but I do this all the time, and I encourage you to have folks do this with your students. But if there's a news story, or if I feel a particular political way, I think it's important to look at Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, National Review. I mean, look at the variety of sources that are on the various political spectrum to understand where people are coming from.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't advise Fox News because that's just completely biased. But maybe like The Hill or lateral reading. The Hill, the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. I mean, so yes, I did you're absolutely right. I did point out more biased news sources. I think it's important to have, neutral ones. And I also find it important to just see, where other political parties are kind of thinking about things.
The way they're spinning it.
Yeah. Because, where a news source that I would write or would watch, somebody on the opposite political side of me is going to say, well, they're spinning it this way. And I think that is an important perspective.
Yeah, it's important for kids to understand. I would say it was much easier like pre-Trump for all of this because Trump has just created a climate where it's just all unclear what's really happening ever, right?
Yeah. Okay, so again, other strategies when we're talking about citations, separating facts from fiction, and this is again to be cautious. Like the AI can blend those real and fake sources, and so like that is where again you were saying, Sari Beth, you've got to take a pause. And you need to go to sources to check.
Yeah, here's a great anecdote for that. One time, I gave it a link and cut and pasted an article I wrote for Parents Magazine about CRT, like an old article I wrote about my fear over like the CRT bans, and that was in 2022. How quaint! And I was like, "Can you pull a couple quotes from me?" I know that sounds narcissistic, but I was busy. I was tired. Pull a couple quotes from this article. Direct pull quotes to add to my Substack. I was writing a Substack, and it quoted me wrong from the article I cut and pasted in my ChatGPT. And I only knew it because it was me. And I said, that doesn't sound like me. And I said, hey, chat, I didn't say that. And I was like, oh, my bad. Yes, let me pull an exact quote for you. So never trust it. Literally. Like I would always, 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 always say, are you sure? Show me the cite it, fact check this for me. Show me every source where you got this from. Click on the sources and check again because you can never be too careful.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. And then it's so important. Yeah. And I think you put a link in there. Oh, it just went to Snopes.com. Oh, okay. You're sharing.
That's
sorry. You're sharing.
Yeah, and Roberta makes a good point. Like sometimes we're using Google, which has an AI embedded. Yeah. So what I do is I don't go to the AI embedded Google. I go to news. I immediately go to news, the news link for Google, and then find the articles. I never use, I rarely use the AI bot in Google. I look up the news articles sources.
Yeah. So other things, to work with your students on, just build a reasoning habit. The point isn't, again, memorizing citation rules, although, that is important. To be able to do. My husband, who's a 12th grade English teacher, will very much, wants to follow the rules, which I totally get. But it's also about the mindset of reasoning. Check it, question it, make your own judgment. Don't trust it. Trust but verify.
Yeah. So speaking of trust, Carmen Sita, I hope I'm saying your name right, and Kin Wang both said that they don't trust AI and they don't know how they're going to help their students. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I'd love to hear what other people say.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on what?
I don't. Yeah. I actually, there's some stuff of AI that I do trust, but I still verify. Right?
Verify and so, every time.
Yeah, like there are some things that I find really, really helpful. I have used it to help me, at least in my school board life, try to go through a lot of research reports that I was trying to, and even transcripts from previous meetings that I attended, that I was there to try to remember what were some of the questions that were asked during that meeting, and that has helped. That has helped a lot.
Oh, it's helped me literally. Like, it's helped me with everything. When I hurt my leg. There was also an article we could have added about Dr. AI, like people are using it instead of Googling it. I couldn't determine like what injury I had on my leg, but I went back and forth with a bunch. I was like asking it when I could exercise again. And I kept saying, are you sure? You know, like, yes, I understand. I should have gone to a doctor, but I was busy. But it was right. It was actually correct. It was like, I tested. I was like, and how many months is it going to take me to get back to my regular routine? It said 2 months, and it was correct. So,
yeah. So I should have put this in the slides. I didn't get a chance, but speaking of time, I'm going to put this. There's a scenario that I'm going to have folks work through. Cool. Here's check citations. Look for weird journal publications or social media names. Like, this is just good practice. Scan for titles that feel too dramatic. Check for the claims or basic plausibility. So here's a scenario that I'm putting in the chat. One of these citations is completely fabricated. And so the paragraph about it is, many studies show a strong connection between late night phone use and reduced sleep in teenagers. Blue light disrupts melatonin production, and constant notifications keep the brain alert even after bedtime. Teachers and parents who set tech boundaries often see better sleep habits, improve school performance. And so which citation is shady? There's one from the Wheaton Adolescent Sleep Patterns, National Sleep Foundation, Technology and Sleep, Urban Wellness Quarterly, Melatonin and TikTok Use Among Teens.
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm yawning so much, guys. Like, you're not boring me. I'm just so tired. I'm teacher tired, guys. I feel dumb because So
if you don't know the response, what would you do then to verify these citations?
I would look up all the different things on Google, not AI Google, and then look for actual articles from them and then check them out.
I would also say, like, how prevalent, I don't know. When did TikTok come on the scene? Was it 2019? And so the answer is number 3, Urban Wellness Quarterly. It's
TikTok
made up title and stuff like that.
Didn't really kick in until 2020. So,
yeah, I mean, certainly pandemic had more.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. So you do need to look up the sources. And Google Scholar, yeah, it looks like everyone's sharing some really great.
That's great. Google Scholar's great advice.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more scenario. Hold on, I've got a bunch, but I'm not going to do a bunch. Let's see here.
Yeah, I always forget about Google Scholar. That's a good one.
And the dates were incorrect. And Kate, check these because, to be honest with you, I didn't check all of these. I know which ones are incorrect, but some of the dates could be incorrect on all. Some of my site sources could be all wrong. So double check that. All right, here's one last one of this part, unless we have more time later. AI tools can generate realistic text, images, and videos that spread quickly online. While they offer creative opportunities, they also make it harder for students to distinguish credible information from fabrications. Educators now play a key role in teaching verification skills. So of these, which one do you believe is fake? The Paris Donovan Deep Fakes in Democracy, Harvard Kennedy School Review, Pew Research Center Public Views on AI and Truth, or Stanford Media Lab AI Enhanced River Velocity in TikTok Ecosystems? All right, what do we think? And yes, you're right. Blue light is not good for adults too. I feel like actually adults are probably the worst offenders of the staying on their devices too long when you should be turning it off. Or maybe I'm just speaking for someone I know.
Me too. Yeah. Like when I wake up in the middle of the night and go on my phone. So stupid.
Yeah. Or when Sari Beth and I are texting each other in the nighttime being like, did you see this AI?
I know. And I'm like making weird videos for myself at midnight. Not a good idea.
Yeah.
So what do we think it is? Oh, Notebook LM. Oh my God. Don't get me started.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get our friends from Google to come for that one. Roberta, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Also, I'm finally getting my school to open it up for me to use. We still can't use it.
Oh, great. That's great. It's such a great tool.
I love it.
Still trusts, verify and trust. Even with that.
That's true.
Yes. David, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. You win my heart emoji.
Stanford Media Lab. But that sounds so real.
It does, because there is a Stanford, and it's going to come to me in a second, but there is a Stanford
something university.
It's Stanford University, but there is a division out of Stanford that really is looking at the AI use cases. But it's not.
So it actually, that's a really
like a really kind of blending together something that is somewhat true, but not, right?
Yeah.
And this article is also made up.
Oh, maybe it's Stanford University Lab.
I will come to the name. Okay, so we don't have a lot more time, too much time left. So let's also talk about how, did I jump too far? Nope, I did. Yes, I did. Hold on, going back. Okay. Okay, so the, research loop in the AI era, what, and again, I will get these documents for you if they are helpful. Using AI as a starting point, not the truth. To the extent you want.
So important.
Yes, it could be kind of an initial part of brainstorming. Like think of AI, critical thinking, and citation as one loop, not three separate distinct.
Right. That's
like
good
all have
advice.
to go back and forth. So if you are allowing students to use AI, there are some ways that they can do it to help kind of think through their process. Have your students used it yet, or do you allow them to?
Yeah, AI. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What
are some guardrails that you put around that?
I say use it as a research tool, but like rewrite it in your own words. We did a debate, but you know what? Honestly, like some of them used it in the last debate we did to write their opening statements, and it just made it richer. Like because they were saying these things out loud that then all the kids were listening to and responding to. So even if AI like wrote it for them, they got the ideas out there, and then they were debating them authentically, like without notes. So it was kind of like, it was kind of weird because I was like, that was clearly written, because they were supposed to be debating in like before 1800. So they were using it to like, but they were memorizing it and stuff too. So they might've had AI write them a script to say in their opening statement, but then they were like memorizing it and making it their own. So in a way, it was the same thing as using Google, but just they used it for a little more creativity. But then next time, hopefully they can do it on their own. I don't know, but I understand why that would be scary to some people. But I was cool
like that's a really good way of like, yes, they may have used it for research, but the real test is like, do they understand that knowledge, and where that you're having that debate, or you're asking them questions where they don't have a device in front of them, or they're not,
they understand it now.
They have that knowledge, yeah.
And they did, because when they were debating, they were really into it and embodying the two different sides. So it worked. They really understood it.
Yeah. So we talked about, using AI to generate, again, using AI, critical thinking, and citations as one loop that you also keep going back and forth through these loops and keep them connected. So like critical thinking checks for your student. Like, does this make sense? Is this claim supported? Are the citations real? We just talked about that. What's missing? What questions do I still have? This is really kind of where the reasoning side of things is popping in. And then we've talked about more on the citations, again, checking the source, reading the real source. Citation is really kind of the receipts for showing your thinking.
Right.
As you're going through this. So, bottom line, AI can speed up the work. Critical thinking strengthens work. Citations validate the work, but together they can create strong researchers.
That's a great way to explain it. Yeah.
And so, going back to the loop. So, I mean, even with that, so I stopped at the 3, but this is, where the writing piece may come in. For the students, the drafting piece, and then going back to confirm that you've got all the right content, and that you can back up what you're missing. Okay, so this is one thing that I really recommend that you consider doing with students. If they're going to use AI, and I think it's one of those things where you acknowledge that if you're allowing them to use it, come up with a class norm or class norms about how you are allowing AI to be used in the classroom. And so if you already are using, I'd love to see in the chat if you're already using AI or have some norms around how you allow students to use it. So, one of the ways, here's, several different ideas, but, one of the ways is just like, have them be transparent. Like if they are submitting an assignment to you, have them say within the assignment, this is how I used AI, and have them be very explicit about that within their
That's
norm.
good advice.
And, you want them, again, to be the thinkers. Students are still need to choose their sources, verify claims, build their argument, and explain their reasoning. So you don't want AI to support them. AI is not going to be the thinker for them. They need to be the ones that are doing the thinking. And we've talked about this a lot, about the verify everything, trust but verify. And then, again, cite AI clearly. So treat AI like any other tool. Maybe you create sentence stems, which I'll share with you in a second, to say, have students at the very end say, I used ChatGPT, or I used Gemini, or I used, Claude to help me outline this project, or I use AI to draft questions and I verify the answers. But have them be very specific in terms of how they've used it. So here's what that could look like. You could have, simple sentence. If AI helped you, say how. If you use it, verify it. And then you could even give students some like very simple sentence stems.
That's helpful. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, so I think there might be we're getting close to time. I think there's some questions in the Q&A box, and then
let's see.
Samantha says, as a middle school teacher, I'm not sure my students are skilled enough to be ready to use AI yet. They do not have the skills needed to check the work and ensure it is accurate and appropriate for our class content. And so, Samantha, I would say, yeah, you're right on this one as the expert and middle school teacher. I would also say the stuff that we're talking right now in terms of the critical thinking and citation skills applies beyond AI. Like this is, any project, trying to get them to do it, even if it's kind of, smaller level. Here's something. Have them, Samantha, have your students not use AI, but have them research where 6-7 comes from and write it.
No.
Sorry. But seriously, they have to cite it. They have to verify it. Like, have them meet them where they are with the stupidness of 6-7.
Oh my God. You understand every teacher in this chat is like,
I know. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh my God. I literally but the kids are annoyed by it too now. It's already over. You know what's back? You know what's in? Quarter zip sweaters. Look it up. We'll talk about it next time.
All right. You're my trendsetter. I feel like, you're in New York City. I feel like all the things start.
We're ahead of the trends. Yeah.
Travel.
They've moved on past 6-7 to them is like, they're like, stop it.
Yeah. All right, Sari Beth, let's wrap up shortly. Are there any questions in the Q&A? Yes, I'm going to be sharing these slides. I appreciate you guys taking notes. I promise you, I will get these out tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. See, you guys, I'm very jealous of everyone who's able to use Notebook LM right now, because my school is still trying to figure out how to make it so kids can access it. So Roberta just shared that with Notebook LM, her students have to identify their resources first. I asked them to contrast Notebook LM's results to what the students themselves. Oh, that's so cool. And you're in college. That's awesome. I want to use Notebook LM. I'm so excited to hear about that.
That's awesome. And yes, so for those of you who are asking also about the slides, or the funny SNL sort of clips that we started, I will be posting all of those as well. In fact, if you want to get a kick out of what we did last time, I already have those up here. Hold on, if I can find it. And again, I think that the stuff that I'm seeing here in the Padlet, we're gonna keep that open. I'd like to keep hearing some of your thoughts on what you're doing. I mean, we've got a lot of folks of like how students are using it. A lot of them, you know, are using it incorrectly or need some training.
Right.
You know, or right now only teaching faculty can use AI in the classroom, which makes sense. I mean, this is what Sari Beth and I were saying like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
We as educators need to understand it before we can help students.
Yeah, that's the whole reason behind this webinar series. So we can become experts in it, so we can better guide young people through it.
Yes. So yes, I will put this. This is the Educator Brain news update from last month. I will have another one up later this week from this session. Okay. Any other questions, comments, or anybody, what's everybody's favorite thing that they're super excited to eat during Thanksgiving?
Oh my God, it's almost Thanksgiving. That's right.
It's almost Thanksgiving. Ah!
That's crazy. Oh my God. Fast forward to spring. I'm ready for spring. That's my favorite thing to eat. Warm sunshine and days that go on forever. Take me to those. I'll gobble them up.
Yeah. Yes, Crystal, I will be sharing the PowerPoint. Be able to check your email. And what I will also be doing is putting that in where you guys register for the webinar as well. I just need to clean it up a little bit because I made some last
pecan pie, pound cake. Ooh, okay. I'm fine with fall as long as we can have some pecan pie. Oh, that's great. You're donating. Amazing.
That's so nice. I'm a stuffing and mashed potato person like all day long, every day, which I can't do for my body all day long, every day. But if I could, I would.
Mashed potatoes are delicious. I love that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will be back one more time for our AI Educator Brain series in December. There will be more material that we are sending out between now and then. And if you guys see anything creepy or cool or funny AI news, let us know because we can add it into our December session. So
yeah, definitely.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. We're almost there. I know the next week and a half is going to be a challenge.
We're tired, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. By the way, my daughter turns 13 on Monday, y'all.
Oh my God, no. That's old. Oh my God, she's a teenager.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't believe she's 13. I think of her as being a kid, like a little kid.
Well, she's like, I'm going to be an adult next week. And I'm like, no, you're still a kid when you're 13.
13 is still a baby. Let's be honest. Let us be honest.
So everybody thinks happy thoughts for me, please.
Oh my God, happy birthday in advance. So exciting.
Yes, thank you. All right. Well, you guys have a good one. I promise you slides and all that stuff will be getting to you tomorrow. I just want to make a couple more edits to them. All right.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.